Hi and welcome to the Three Cups Full blog. I'm Sharanya NAIDOO. I'm a life coach and we talk about how to live full of love, acceptance and respect, which are the three cups. We also talk about our inner voice and how to allow our inner voice to direct our lives. So this week I am going to share with you my top 3 tips for appreciating, loving, accepting and treasuring the body you've got, how you look like. A lot of us have received messaging of what you are is not quite right. Something else is better. Like, how many of us have received that message? In millions of different ways. The content is different, the feeling is the same. So over time when we're little, we've just picked up these messages and slowly we rejected our bodies, we rejected ourselves, we rejected the way we look. For me growing up, so many things. One, I'm too dark. That was one message. Like, fair is beautiful. So, in South Africa, where I was born, I migrated to Australia when I was 5 years old, but in South Africa, and in a lot of Indian populated countries, there's a cream called Fair and Lovely, and you put it on your skin and your body so that you become lighter. It's basically bleach. And okay, so that was one message. I'm too dark. It's too short. What else? Yeah, oh gosh, it's been so long since I've thought about this, but there was so many different, just the fact that I was Indian. I mean, I was growing up in Australia, so that's different, and, experience racism and whatnot. But the older you get, the wiser you get sometimes. And I did wise up a bit. I realized, one, in hindsight, looking back, children will just tease each other for anything and everything, like literally anything and everything. And that's only because inside of them, they've received the messaging that as they are, they're not enough and they're not acceptable. And so unconsciously, they will project that out to other kids. So the tall girl gets teased, the short boy gets teased, the skinny, thin person gets teased, the bigger, fuller person gets teased, the one with glasses, the one with short hair, the one with red hair. It's like there is no rhyme and reason. And so that messaging sinks in and we feel as though we don't belong. And we end up learning to not accept ourselves as we are. And then as we grow older, we buy things that make us feel a sense of belonging, or we crave different things from different people to give us that acceptance that we're not giving to ourselves. So the 3 things that are my tips for accepting your body as it is. The first one is to see people from a bird's eye, from an eagle's eye point of view, looking down. Because often we get caught up in our own story, in our own mind. And so just breathe out and just take yourself out of yourself and look down at humanity, at people, at humans, tall, short, small, young, old, all of it. And you just see it for the colorful color wheel that it is, for the multi-dimensional, multifaceted, beautiful thing that humanity is, and look at each culture and look at each country of people. Bodies, I'm talking about, how people look. So, there's this great quote from Tina Fey in her book where she talks about how society wants you to have, I think, the figure of Kim Kardashian, and this the hairless skin of a beautiful Japanese model, and the hair of an Indian lady, and the nose of a Caucasian woman. Like, it was just, the perfect human doesn't exist, because we chop and change and dissect people and put together what we think is the perfect person. And if you're not quite that, you're off the mark when it comes to beauty. And so you need to change. You need to get a nose job. You need to have fillers put in your butt or your calves or your cheeks. You need to have your wrinkles ironed out. You need to straighten your hair or curl your hair, whatever it is to the ideal. And so when you look at humanity and you look at all the different types of people, there's just so many variations that when you look at the people that you come from. So I used to get teased because I had a big nose. I don't think it's that big anymore. Maybe my face has grown into it, but big nose. And, you know, at the end of the day, it's my grandfather's nose. Like my dad's got the same nose as me. My grandfather did, probably generations back. So I can't be born with a nose that's from a Japanese lady or, you know, from an African lady. It's just not going to happen. I've got an Indian nose. It's a Telugu nose. It's the part of India that you know, we hail from. And so when you look at it like that, like, you're not just rejecting yourself or picking it apart. You're literally disowning your whole heritage and ancestry because that's what's brought you into the world, and that's why you look the way you do. You can see it for the absurdity that it is. And so number one is look at humanity from a bird's eye point of view and look at the different cultures and where people come from, and see that you are the direct product of whatever ancestry is coming through your blood and genetics. And to want someone else's, because often we think of a particular person, like Jennifer Lopez's body, or Michelle Pfeiffer's eyes, or Anne Hathaway's skin, or something like that, and you fixate on a person. Take a step back and look at their heritage and where they've come from, and take a step back and look at where you've come from, and recognize that the way you look is part of your history and your family's history. And by rejecting yourself, you're rejecting your family and everything they've been through and everything they stand for. So that's number one. Take a bird's eye view. Number two, recognize that the culture is batshit crazy. We always want what we don't have. And that's stemming up from the ego. So recognize the madness for what it is, which is what I have is not good enough. I need someone else's. What I have is just not right. So whatever else I need, it's something else but this. I remember when I was a kid and I was at school and we were sitting around a circle in the playground. I would have been under 12 because it was primary school. And it was about 10 of us girls sitting in a circle, and someone had their hair cut and we were all commenting on it and, you know, having a conversation about it. And what ended up happening was that every single girl there, in their vulnerability, shared with the group whose hair they wanted. And it was like this little crossroad thing where the girl with the black hair wanted the redhead's hair. The girl with the curly hair hated her curly hair. She wanted the girl with the pinstripe hair. The one with the straight hair wanted some waves. It was just this weird thing that I was witnessing. And I remember I had the similar thoughts as well. Like, I wanted my hair to either be straight or either be curly. Like, I didn't like the fact that it was like somewhere halfway. And I remember thinking, oh my gosh, everyone here is so pretty. Everyone's hair belongs to them. And yet we want someone else's. And at such a young age, it kind of dawned on me that is quite crazy. That if only they accepted themselves, and it was from outside in, so I could recognize it in them, that if they just accepted their hair for being amazing because they looked so good, I thought they all looked so lovely, then they would be happy, and then the game would end. And so I reflected on that and I took it on board. So I remember from that moment, I would catch myself wanting someone else's something. Because of that hair circle, that story from all of us sitting around wanting someone else's hair, which is just absurd. So recognize the absurdity. The culture, the conditioning is batshit crazy. That's number two. Number three, to accept the body you're in, recognize that you are not your body. Who you are lies in a dimension that's beyond your body, beyond your mind, beyond your thinking. That's your true self. Your true self is the space between thoughts. You're not your thoughts. Who's listening to your thoughts if you're your thoughts? Who is listening to your thoughts? Who is telling yourself, oh my gosh, these thoughts are crazy. Oh my gosh, I've been so stressed lately, my mind's running a million miles an hour. Who's saying that? It's the witness. You can recognize your thoughts as separate from you. You are not your thoughts. In the same way, you're not your body. Your body changes. It grows. It gets older. It has babies. It changes. It's not who you are. When you die, you'll realize you're not your body. Your body gets left behind, becomes ash. You're not your body. And so when you recognize that, my body is the house in which I live in, it changes everything. It's that saying, that quote, your body is your temple. Look after your temple. You really get a sense of that when you realize I am not my body. I'm not identified as this, because that identification means you're really attached to it, and it becomes a source of pain as you receive other people's judgments about your body. So when you recognize, I'm not my body, this is my home, this is my temple, I have to look after it. I have to exercise it, or I have to go for walks, I have to eat proper food, I have to sleep, I have to drink water, I have to keep my house clean, I've got to keep my body clean, I've got to keep my body healthy. It becomes more a responsibility rather than a trophy that needs to be perfect and needs to bring you in compliments so that you can accept yourself and love yourself. No, it's not. It's your temple. Your journey is to find ways in which to bring that love and acceptance into your experience that's separate from your body. It's only when you reject your body as it is that then you need other people to accept it as it is, to do the work that you're not doing for yourself. That's the third one. To see your body as a temple. It's your responsibility. It's something to be appreciated, and it looks after you. It's with you till your dying breath. It's with you forever. And to appreciate that it does so much for you. It is not your ticket to compliments. Compliments are great. Accept them. Say thank you. That was so lovely for you to say. When they come to you, accept it. Accept that love that people are giving to you. But don't put so much pressure on your body to bring you in acceptance and compliments. That's not its role. Its role is for you to experience this planet, to experience this world through your five senses. Who you are is in the dimension beyond your body, beyond your thoughts. You're the witness behind it, timeless. Your body will age, but you won't. That's why, when people are 90, they still feel like they're 21. They don't feel as though they're old as their body suggests that they are. It's different. There's a timeless quality to who you truly are. So those are my 3 tips for appreciating and loving the body you have. Number 1 is to take a bird's eye view and know that you come from a lineage of people that look like you. And so to reject that and to want something else is to wish you were born in a different culture, in a different place. To recognize, sorry about the swearing, but sometimes it's appropriate. The culture is batshit crazy. This idea of wanting to be different and something else other than what you are is simply the ego telling you to not be satisfied with your life, to not be satisfied and full with who you are and where you are. So recognize the madness. There was Fair and Lovely in South Africa wanting us to be bleached, and then Australia, where I grew up with, all my friends were putting tanning lotion on to be darker. So at around 15, I think it was, I realized the culture is batshit crazy. We're buying into this idea that what we are is not good enough, and what we are is not enough, and we need to be different. We're not doing it anymore, and the tide is changing. You can see it. Watch the advertisements. Watch how companies are selling products to us now. They're no longer trying to make you feel shameful about the way you look. Now all the messaging is about empowering and eat this breakfast cereal and you'll feel empowered and you feel like you're doing something good for yourself. So the messaging is changing because we are shifting, and that is such a good thing. That's what we're going to be passing on to our daughters. And the third way to appreciate and love your body is to recognize it's your temple. It is your home. It is the home of your soul, your spirit. It is not there to bring in compliments for you to feel accepted and loved. No. That is your inner work to do to feel accepted and love. Your body, it's not responsible for that. It's not meant to be your vehicle for compliments or acceptance. It is your temple. It's your home. Keep it clean, keep it happy, keep it healthy. It becomes a responsibility then rather than a burden. So those are my 3 tips. I hope they helped. It's a journey to undo all the conditioning that we've received to be different to what we are, and sometimes it takes time, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it happens like that and you wake up going, I am out of this game of craziness. I'm just not playing it anymore. I'm not playing it anymore. And that is when you feel free. You just feel free to be who you are, and you let others be who they are too. That's it for this week. It's a long video. Oh, I could talk for ages about it. I love this topic of acceptance. Go out into the world with the appreciation that you have this beautiful vehicle allowing you to experience the world through. You've got your senses just giving you this gorgeous experience of life, and your body allows you to do that. It allows you to do that. So enjoy it, celebrate it, nourish it, love it. That's all for this week. If you've enjoyed the video, please subscribe to the blog. Visit 3cupsfull.com.au or on my YouTube channel. And if you found it helpful, please share it with your friends. Spread the love. I will see you all next week. Bye for now.